Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Ken and welcome to my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4. So this is definitely one of the best small size or mid-size tablet you can get right now. And after using this for about 10 days, I will be showing you 5 pros and 3 cons about this device. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'm trying to reach maybe 500 likes on this video, and maybe in the next video I will try to reach 600, 800 or 1000 and so on. And if you enjoy this new style of a review, be sure to let me know in the comments, and again, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and get started with my review. Alright, first let me talk about some of the pros and then I'll move on to the cons of this device. When you first take it out of the box and open this device, the first thing that's gonna wow you or give you a surprise, well, it gave me a surprise at least, is the display. This has an 8.4-inch display, as the name says, and has a crazy resolution of 2560 by 1600 with a pixel density of 359. This is one of the highest pixel density tablets out right now, and it's extremely sharp. This of course surpasses the iPad mini's Retina display, and you're definitely not going to see any pixels on this device unless you have some crazy alien eyes. You're not going to see any pixels. What matters the most about a display, in my opinion, is the color. The Galaxy 8.4 has excellent color contrast or saturation, and overall has an exceptional color representation or accuracy. Alright, now let's move on to the second pro of this tablet, and this is going to be the hardware or the specs. As the name says, this is the Galaxy Tab Pro, so you would expect this to have some Pro specs or Pro internals. This packs the Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor, 2.3 GHz, and Adreno 330 GPU. This also has 2 GB of RAM, so the specs are really promising, but how are the performances? Well, you are able to run pretty much all of the Google Play Store apps or games. Especially playing these intense graphic games, you're not going to have any problems, any lag or dropped frame rates. It's very smooth, and the gaming experience on this device is quite good. You're also able to run a bunch of apps at the same time using the Samsung multitasking or multi-window feature, so you can open up a bunch of apps, run it in the background. You're still going to have a fairly quick and smooth experience. Alright, moving on, let's move on to the third pro, and this is expandable storage. So you are able to slide in a 64GB or 32GB micro SD card inside this device, and you're gonna have more storage. Most other tablets like the iPad mini or the Nexus 7 doesn't have this feature, and this is one of my favorite features that makes me want to use this device other than some other tablets that I have. Alright, moving on to the fourth pro. It's pretty hard for me to decide if this is a con or a pro, but I decided to put this in the pro category, and this is actually the design or the build quality. Comparing it to most other Samsung devices, I'd say that this has a fairly nice build quality. Unlike the Samsung Galaxy S4 or the Galaxy Note 2 with a glossy plastic finish on the back, this actually has the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 leathery back feel. It's of course not leather, but it does have a leather texture and feels quite nice in the hand. Of course, everybody has their own preference. You just have to hold it yourself to see if you like it or not. And personally, I don't really mind this plastic polycarbonate leather textured back on the Galaxy Tab 8.4. The plastic finish of this tablet makes it very light, so it's pretty easy to hold, and also because of the narrow size, it's easy to hold with one hand. Alright, now let's move on to the last pro, and I just have to throw this in. It's actually the camera. To be honest, you look pretty normal when you take pictures with a DSLR, point and shoot, or a phone, but if you take out your iPad or other bigger tablets, you look pretty silly. Anyways, back to the Galaxy Tab 8.4's camera. I don't really take pictures on this device very often, but this can act as maybe a backup camera in case my phone camera dies or I don't have a proper point and shoot or a DSLR with me. The camera on this is actually pretty good comparing it to some other tablets like the iPad mini or the Nexus 7. The camera actually performs fairly well as a video shooter or taking pictures. Here are just some of the pictures I took earlier today, and be the judge yourself. In my opinion, they're not that bad. And here is the front-facing camera test of the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4. Alright, now let's move on to some of the cons about this device. In fact, I have 3 cons, and the first one is actually the battery life. Not saying that this has a bad battery life or anything, it's just that the high resolution display and the processing power can eat up the battery fairly quickly. This does have a fairly large battery capacity of 4800 mAh, but just from my experience, after about a few hours of continuous usage of this device with a fairly high brightness, the battery seems to drain pretty quickly. But I don't use my tablet very often, I usually just use it after dinner or around that time. So after about a day and a half or about 2 days, I will recharge my device. So it really just depends on how much you use it, what brightness you put it on, and what apps you use and what games you play, and all plays in the factor of your battery life. Alright, moving on to the second con, and this is going to be the speakers. First of all, the location of the speakers are not very good. It's located at the bottom of the device, so if you watch videos in landscape mode, you can easily cover the speakers up with your hand. Just like most other tablets, the speakers aren't very good. Same thing here, the Galaxy Tab 8.4 doesn't have very good speakers. It does go up to a very high or very loud volume, but the overall sound is not very clear. The bass, the highs. So I do recommend having a Bluetooth speaker or some other speakers of any sort, and you can connect your tablet with the speaker, and you're gonna have much better audio quality if you listen to your music or watch videos with some other external speakers. Before moving on to the last con, let's first talk about the sponsor for this video. This video is brought to you by Ting. Well, what is Ting? Ting is a mobile service that makes sense. There are no contracts to sign, so you don't have to pay any early termination fees if you choose to leave. Second, you pay for what you use for. So for example, this month, if you have less minutes or less messages or less megabytes of data, your bill will actually go down, which is very nice. Ting is also very affordable. You can save a lot of money if you switch to Ting, and you can actually go to their website ting.com/calculator to calculate how much you will be saving if you switch to Ting. You can choose between a lot of different devices that they offer, so you're not going to be stuck with an outdated device for a long time. And also, you can have unlimited devices with one account. So if you are interested in switching over to Ting, or check out some of the information on this mobile service, you can go to kfhd.ting.com, and if you go to this link, you will also support my show. And not only this will support my videos, you can also save $25 off on a new device you purchase, or get $20 worth of Ting credits. So be sure to check out kfhd.ting.com to support this video. And the last feature that I don't really like about this is actually the Samsung's TouchWiz skin. Just like most other Android users, we do prefer having stock Android, pure Android 4.4 KitKat. For example, the settings. It's just not very organized, and it's not very easy to find certain options if you want to change the settings of your device. I'm not really hating on the Samsung TouchWiz skin, but personally I do enjoy having stock Android on my devices, so I do hope that this would have a Google Play edition soon. So this pretty much concludes my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this tablet. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe.